want us to now speak to Dr. Charles Sinkala, who's an international relations analyst. Dr. Sinkala, this is a big victory for a small country like Djibouti. What opportunity do they have right now to reshape politics, geopolitics in particular, around crises like security, safety, food security, as well as technological advancements which are on the agenda at the African Union? What opportunity do they have now to shape that?
It's an advantage to them in the sense that now they head the biggest organization in the African continent. Be it their efficacy in terms of implementation, what the challenges as the bureaucratic system has got, that is something most to be desired by the African people.
Importantly here are the issues of conflict in the DRC and conflict in Sudan that will take center stage as the heads of state will tomorrow sit in plenary. And of course, the African Union chairperson will have an opportunity to make opening remarks about those conflicts. What is it that is most important to take note of at this moment?
I think what is important is the efficacy of the AU itself, and it's found in a Charter for Peace and Security for the African continent. It has drastically failed, to implement those policies. As a practicing attorney, one will have an idea that when laws are made, there must be law enforcement. And if there's law enforcement, there must be consequence management, to punish the lawbreakers. But the AU, or even though you call it the initiation of it, which was the Organization of African Unity, has been over the past 62 years as a talk show. They can only say peace must be restored in DRC, peace must be restored in Mozambique, peace must be restored in West Africa, peace must be restored in Ethiopia, but they cannot physically, like what has been happening now in terms of President Felix Tshisekedi, who has missed this important meeting in terms of peace. He has elected to go to Germany, instead of attending the AU summit, which is most important, which is affecting the Rwanda and Congolese governments.
Yeah. Lastly, the organizational restructuring of the AU is an important conversation, specifically around funding, governance, as well as its role in peacekeeping on the continent. Do you have some thoughts about where it is most vulnerable?
It is very vulnerable in the sense that those who are funding the organization, it is the outsiders. They are not fully in control. So certain policies are ignored. Policies such as the industrialization of Africa, to take ownership of Africa so that we can industrialize the continent, to manufacture our own products, to process our raw materials, which are abundantly found in the African continent. For example, Nigeria does not send the oil to South Africa. It sends oil overseas where it is processed, then we buy it back. Certain things that I've spoken time and after and again, that things such as toothpicks. Why we Africans, we import toothpicks when we abundantly been blessed with a lot of trees? Why can't we industrialize the continent? So these are issues that are pertinent, that needs to be addressed, in the sense that Africa must create a union, that to address such issues in terms of putting the stop in terms of importation of finished products and resort into in terms of industrialization and creating employment within the continent.
Dr. Sinkala, thank you so much for your time and your insights. I really do appreciate it. Dr. Charles Sinkala is an international relations analyst.